It's been over 2 months since my last upload, so there is no better way to brush off some of the cobwebs than by playing some Steel Beast for you. This is Tank Platoon and Attack by Zipuli, and you can basically pause and read the briefing here at your leisure. But basically what we're looking at is I've given myself a tank platoon of 4 M1A2 SEP tanks, and the idea is that we proceed through along this mobility corridor here within our platoon boundaries, destroy all enemy forces up to the objective, seize the objective, then hold it for a counterattack. Now, besides, of course, my platoon of 4 M1A2s also have some artillery on call, which I can use as necessary depending on the enemy situation. We're also going to be playing this during the winter time, so should give a little bit different of a really view than some of the normal terrain and weather conditions that you'll see me play through with Canium. We're already in a column formation, so go ahead and set the platoon to be at close interval, and let's go ahead and start the mission and see what we can do. And no need to save the plan since I haven't really done anything too crazy with it. So go ahead, begin my march with my platoon here. Start by basically going down the road, probably to about TRP Papa 1-5 there, then we'll move into a wedge formation at normal interval, spread out, and allow the platoon to begin maneuvering into the wood line. Slow down for a moment to allow my guys here to catch up. Got my platoon sergeant directly behind me there, the 1-4 Vic. And one of the things I'm going to do here is go onto the CITV, go ahead and set the scan to auto. So the CITV, as indicated by the little R2-D2 head looking thing there, will basically independently scan, so I can sit in the TC's chair and basically watch as it scans for targets. So, good nifty feature to have. Another feature of this tank that most of them don't have in the game is I can actually go in, adjust the map, and be able to see that just in the TC's hatch. So I'll still switch to the map view since I'm just so used to doing that, but it is a nice little feature that is included in this game. There's also some other stuff you can do with the CITV, but I'm not going to focus on that at the moment. So looking at the map here, looks like we're approaching TRP Papa 1-5. It should be just right over at that intersection there. So we'll go ahead and proceed straight south, move into a wedge formation here, and begin to spread out and transition from movement to maneuver. Okay, actually got a, looks like a vehicle up ahead. Looks like those guys are wearing winter camo, so yep, definitely an enemy target, as my AI gunner has identified. So go ahead, move into a wedge formation. I will switch to the 7.62. Actually, do something a little different. See if I can actually see this thing with my 50 cal here. Doubt I'm going to be able to get any hits. Probably too low in the terrain. No, I can just barely see it. But my guys are already engaging, so I'll have my gunner scan forward and continue looking for other targets. Don't want to necessarily be surprised by an enemy tank or something of that nature when we're just fighting one of their PCs, or not PC, truck, I should say, and a civilian hatchback at that. So getting good hits. My gunner actually killed. Okay, way to escalate the situation there, 1-2, but hey, it worked. But yeah, as I was saying, actually had my gunner get some kills there. Or a kill on, I think it was either the driver or one of the passengers. I'm sure, of course, that reviewing the video, it will be much more apparent. And that is definitely an enemy tank, so we'll go ahead, do a laze on there. That looks about right, 900 meters at fire. And got a PC right there. Okay, definitely getting some kills. Oh, wait, that's another PC. Man, happened to luck out pretty well at this point. Basically, got to just that perfect keyhole shot where I was able to identify the enemy. with thermals. Let's see what that looks like without it. Just curious. Yeah, so that would be... I think they popped smoke there, but that would definitely be pretty difficult to see. Okay, take a look here. It looks like there's actually another civilian truck loaded with enemy soldiers, which one of my wingmen has killed. Looks like another hatchback, red/orange color right there. So, I'll go ahead, hop back out of the hatch here, and yep, we're in a close line formation, no issues with that. So, I'm going to move forward to just the edge of this wood line here, since it is highly possible that the enemy, of course, noticed the 4 M1A2 shooting at them and managed to call in a fire mission. And once I get to the edge of this wood line, before advancing, I'll give my platoon orders to begin reloading and taking ammunition from their semi-ready rack and putting it into the ready rack. At this point, well, if we don't keep contacting enemies here, and another kill on our part, so we're definitely doing quite well so far, being pretty dang lethal if I do say so myself. But go ahead, go here, order our guys to begin reloading, and basically for those of you unfamiliar with the M1 series of tank, while this is occurring, what's actually happening is myself as the TC is going to remove this bit of basically cloth or fabric or whatever right here covering the semi-ready rack. We're going to crank it open, and basically I'm going to pull out ammunition from here, hand it to the loader, who will hit the, not sure the exact name for it, but there's basically a switch here that you can hit with your knee or your leg. It swings open the ready rack there, and he's able to put the round in there. Another alternative too is there are, I forget the exact number, and I don't want to tell you in this video just because I don't know the answer and I don't want to spread wrong information. But you can actually turn your turret to a certain angle, and there are a few rounds loaded within the turret if you're going with a full combat load. And there, the loader again can basically crank that open, pull those out, and put those rounds into the ready rack there. This, of course, has the effect of, one, making the M1A2 have a bit better survivability rate as far as having an ammo compartment being hit. However, unlike the Leopard series of tanks, which I'm sure you've seen in some Icanium videos or in some other Steel Beast videos out there, the reload rate is significantly slower. In fact, I think it is actually equivalent to if you park next to an ammunition supply truck and just wait, you'll reload at about the same speed. So, actually filling up on impact here. Since nothing's going on, I'm going to go ahead and do some time compression and do a cut in the video, and I'll come back when we are fully reloaded and ready to continue our offensive. Okay, so the platoon has finished reloading. We are full on coax as well as impact and sabo rounds, so we're going to go ahead, continue through this wood line. Let's see, probably push a little bit more to the west there. Try to keep basically some of that wood line in between us and possible enemy observation and fields of fire. So move forward through these woods. It of course, results in some slower movement as one, the AI maneuvers through it, and two, you've got to think that yes, you're slowed down, but in real life this wood line here is going to be probably a lot thicker. Even in the winter time here, you're going to be rolling through dead vegetation, rolling through the snow, as you can see, and going to be pretty hard going, even for a vehicle with as much power as an M1A2. And actually, yep, those are already killed, it looks like. Let's go ahead and examine that. Yep. Actually, there's one that is not showing up on our kill count there. I'm assuming that The AI has just not spotted it in the woods, so we'll go ahead, try to identify all 3 destroyed vehicles. Not really able to at this moment, but I don't see those as a threat. They don't look like they're moving. Okay, got a PC in sight that our gunner's seeing. And looks like a good kill there. Okay, got one of our other tanks. Looks like they fired off a round. So, waiting on old 1-4 there, taking his dear sweet time. Not that I can complain. The platoon's been doing pretty well so far as being a fairly lethal force. Gonna hop in here, go ahead and get into the CITV, and it looks like we got some contacts over here. That's a enemy hatchback, which looks like took a round. That looks like a ZSU 23-4 that took a hit. I'm gonna go ahead and fire actually at this one here. Put on Shift P so the palm switch is activated. Go to CITV. Actually, we'll go to GPS gloss. Turn the palm switch back on and see if we can fire at this thing here. Fire. And that's a good kill. Not sure if we've already engaged it, but better to be safe than sorry. So yeah, those were definite anti-aircraft vehicles there. Not sure again if that was a 2S6 or a ZSU 23-4.
Contact, troops, run.
I think that's a 2S6 actually, which is significantly more lethal due to its basically what's it called? Missile capabilities. Plus, it's just a more modern piece of equipment than the older ZSU 23-4. So, again, we spotted those up on that ridge line where they couldn't really do a whole lot of damage. I actually want to have my gunner traverse left real quick, make sure that this is not going to be an issue as we move through this clearing here. Okay, got some troops there. I'm going to go ahead and call indirect on them, just leave everything default, have some HE rounds falling on their heads. That way we're not directly having to engage there. Or I should say we're not having to engage the enemy with direct fire. So continue to move forward. Again, this is not real conducive terrain due to how outnumbered we are by the enemy. However, with the M1A2, we've of course got significantly better optics, up to 50 times zoom. And so that there in itself does help us, obviously, with lethality. And 2, try to keep some of these wood lines between us and the enemy, without, of course, going outside the boundary there. About the worst thing I can run into is a dismounted infantry team, which actually looks like there is one right there. Yep, so we'll go ahead, hop in the gun here. I cannot tell if those are missiles or what. Okay, being told to fire and adjust, so that's a kill, and go start trying to kill these guys. A little outside of effective range here, but I think that's a grenade launcher. Automatic grenade launcher anyway, but I can't quite tell. But we're already engaging the enemy there, and so we're just going to continue doing that. And again, it can be kind of a pain engaging the enemy with a coax out at this range, just because 900 meters is really what you're looking at as max effective for this sort of weapon system, due to tracer burnout, and 2, obviously, yeah, the spread pattern, as you can tell, is not the best. Fortunately, we've got over 4,000 rounds available, assuming we're at a full load. It's getting a little ridiculous, so go ahead and call in some HE there, but continue to fire. I don't necessarily want to maneuver straight on these guys and get closer. due to the fact that,
Fire to adjust.
okay, that got him. There is, of course, the objective in front of us, and I don't want to put our side armor towards what could potentially be a much more lethal force. We've been engaging for several minutes now, so go ahead, begin pulling forward.
Fire to adjust.
Okay, move over here to the infantry team there, or the one man left on the... Again, can't tell. I'm going to assume that's an automatic grenade launcher, since we're not getting missiles fired at us. Obviously, if that was the case, I'm not going to just sit here and have a missile fired at me. Okay, we'll go ahead and load Impat and just fire at the dudes there. Have the gunner do that. Alright, not quite a hit. Fire again there, man. Okay, that is a good kill. And fire another Impat. And there we go. That is that. So go ahead and order our gents here, and we'll go ahead and cancel that second fire mission, since it appears we have destroyed that enemy threat. We're going to go ahead and pull into the wood line here, and since we used some Impat, and just while we have a bit of time, I want to go ahead, make sure the platoon is reloaded. So we'll just pull into the woods here. Go ahead and stop, skirting the boundary but not going past it. Just using this as much as possible to our advantage. Go ahead and order all of our tanks to reload, and I'll see if I can do some time compression here and do a video skip. Okay, so obviously enemy is somewhat nearby, so I'll have to sit here and wait for us to reload. However, I'll go ahead and do a cut in the video so you do not have to. So I'll be back when either we're reloaded or something interesting happens. Okay, so we've just finished reloading and are up to 100% for all of our ready racks and also all of our coax. So basically every tank has 4,000 rounds of coax plus a full combat load in our in our ready racks. Now there's actually an opening there. Normally I would proceed through it, however, that brings me slightly outside of the boundaries I'm supposed to stay in, and I want to just avoid any exploitation shenanigans, trying to break the scenario or anything of that nature. So, coming up to some houses or housing up here. A couple of, yeah, at least one little house there on the edge of the wood line, so I want to be pretty careful. Looks like the enemy seems to be choosing any form of basically man-made terrain out here, buildings and the like, to hide in or around. So that's something I want to be cognizant of. Looks like someone's woodshed over there. And doesn't appear to have any enemy forces that I can tell around it. Hopefully that is the case, because I would really hate to be attacked from infantry in either the flank or the rear. But we're just going to continue forward, come out of the wood line in a few moments, and focus on the objective there. Start moving forward. Go ahead, hop in the gunner's seat here. Do a quick peek, see if we can see anything out of the ordinary. And so far, nope, definitely an enemy tank, so go ahead and kill that dude there. Okay, definitely got some good vision there. See if we can shoot that. I think it may be already killed, or there is something behind it, maybe. I think that may actually be the case. I think I kind of see a barrel there, but no, that appears to be it, just the bridge layer there. Getting hits, but not really on the actual target itself. My fear is that we spend too much ammunition engaging this thing here and basically run out, especially since my either 3 or 4 tank here seems to be engaging pretty good, but For the amount of rounds we're putting into this thing, yeah, calling some HE. I really hope we just kill this, otherwise I'm going to have to come back in the woods, or go back in the woods, excuse me, and focus on reloading, which is a bit annoying here that this thing's taken so much of a pounding and, you know, not being destroyed, but...
On the way.
Okay, go ahead and hold fire there. Well, never mind, just fire it off.
On the way.
Okay, so that is definitely frustrating. And, alright, we finally killed it. So, what I'm going to do now is retreat back into our previous position in the woods here, since the enemy no doubt has some idea of where we are, since you've got, you know, 4 M1A2s blazing away, expending a full ready rack there on one vehicle. So, we'll move back, get in the wood line here, and reload. And I'll go ahead and do a video cut, just due to the fact that, yeah, nothing really to see, just sitting here, you know, reloading. So, I'll come back when we're complete. Okay, so we are back and reloaded. Not necessarily in the best position ammo-wise, since basically our semi-ready rack is almost completely empty. I have, at least for my commander's tank here, have no more Sabo rounds and only have 3 impact in there. But hopefully between myself as well as my 3 other platoon members here, we'll have enough to basically kill all of the enemy forces here and complete the mission. If not, then that will be a little bit anticlimactic. So again, go ahead, move out of the wood line here, try to get good observation onto the objective, and of course destroy anything that we see that is hostile. And once I get out here, I'll pause for a moment, allow some of my other tanks to catch up. Looks like they're a little bit slow through this wood line, which is understandable. Would be some decently thick stuff to go through in real life. And I'll just start a scan, see if I can see anything of interest. Any infantry teams hanging out, you know, with missiles waiting to destroy us, any, you know, columns of tanks moving towards us, that sort of thing. And can't really see anything on initial look, so go ahead and begin moving out. I want to see where my other vehicles are here. Okay, so the 4 still maneuvering through here. 3's finally pulled out of the wood line. Okay, we went to normal intervals for some reason, so that's probably a bit of it. I want to go back to being close. Steer the terrain we're in. I'll go ahead, do a bit of time compression, get everyone called up here. And still looking for my 2 tank here. Okay, just caught up on some trees. It's got a new driver, so you know, got to give him a bit of a break there. Okay, go ahead and move on through, continue forward. I'm not really seeing anything at this time, which I don't know if that's necessarily a good or bad thing. Could be that I've killed all the enemy, or it could be that they're just lying in wait beyond that hill there, which would make an excellent reverse slope defense, either for ourselves on this side or for the enemy on the other. Okay, go ahead, slow down to a speed of 1, allow my 2-track to catch up, and we'll go full speed ahead. Again, looking like we've basically killed everything of interest. I'll go ahead and end these fire missions here. Hop into the, oh, hold on. I thought I saw something there. I think that's a target we've already engaged. Yep. That looks like something we have previously destroyed. Matches the description, so continue scanning forward. Hop in the CITV here, switch to manual mode, start looking about. eerily quiet at this point. Well, you know, minus the roar of the turbine engine, the sound of the tracks hitting the snow, you know, etc., 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 other sorts of, you know, things. Okay, looks like a platoon of PCs. Go ahead and set to engage, turn to face them. Okay, definitely a kill there. Okay, well, he's... Nope, doesn't appear to be dead, so fire impact at him. Got it. Okay, somehow still alive. Interesting. Fire again. And now we're just looking at dismounts. Can't tell. I think he might have been killed. We'll go ahead and fire. Oh, truck. That's fun. Wait till this guy gets more into the open there if I fire an impact. And my, oh, nice. TC's definitely getting it on right now with that 50 cal. See if we can do the same thing. Fire some coax. The reason I don't want to fire impact is it's just going to end up hitting the basically trees there and you know, detonating early and not having the desired effects. Okay, that truck has been killed and got one more moving in. Oh, whoa, easy there. Good hits by a TC. I actually want to detach one platoon here, or not platoon, one section, have them go to defend, have them look to our rear there, just because we're pretty exposed, you know, firing at these trucks over here, moving in to reinforce. Some motorized infantry for sure. I'll go ahead and call in some indirect fire there. Can't tell if that is the target that we're looking at. Oh well. I believe it is. Let's see. Yep, burning wreck there.
DC complete.
Nope, should be moving down the road, but... Oh, there he goes. Wow, that guy is hauling. I guess that happens when you're in a Ural and you're running a bunch of tanks. Gonna move back here, don't wanna bang into that MTLB there, and we'll go ahead move back to be to operating as a platoon as opposed to two sections. Move forward and see what we can do here. Now I'm specifically worried about any enemy counterattack that we may have, so go ahead and load up on AP here. Alright, the objective is secured. Now we have orders to hold it. Not surprising there. Okay, trucks moving. Fire some coax if we can. And I think he is going to escape our attack. Not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, got enemy tanks moving in, so we're going to go ahead and back the heck up. Get into a better fighting position here. Move into a line formation at close interval. Basically what I want to do is focus on straightforward here. As the enemy comes over this hill, we can engage. I'll go ahead and call some HE in there to force their action if they're not willing to commit. Which I cannot see why they would not, since that's probably going to be at least a company-sized element coming to engage us. Go ahead and wait on that one fire mission to hit those infantry in our rear, prevent them from observing our position, calling in indirect, that sort of thing. I'm going to move forward just a little bit here. Don't want to move forward too much because Okay, go ahead and start engaging if you're able to, tanks. There you go. Good. Okay, hits. Trying to see. Okay, fire. Alright. One of our call signs has been hit, the 2-track there. See if we can kill this guy. Tough shot, but managed to make it. I don't think we had any effects. Okay, getting some kills there. Took a hit. Fortunately, that Detroit steel is holding up so far. I'm going to go ahead and pop some smoke. Have my platoon start to back up. Looks like the 2 tank is still mobile at the moment. And we're going to go ahead, cancel that fire mission, redo it here. Pour some HE on them, make them, give them something to think about. Okay, commander's been hit. Not sure where from. He is down. So we're going to continue to move backwards. Okay, there's that dude. That's a pretty good keyhole shot he's got there. I think I can return the favor. Yes, indeed. I think he's still alive, however. Yep. And my 1 track has been destroyed. Unfortunate, but see if we can find out where else these tanks are. Okay, looks like they're coming from the wood line there, so have the 4 take over. Good old platoon sergeant leading the way. We're going to go ahead, move to engage, move to a line, normal formation, in spacing, start proceeding forward. And let's close that hatch there, so we're not having any nasty surprises of enemy tanks moving forward and killing us. And I want to be real careful here. Actually, I don't see any more enemy tanks at the moment, though I'm sure they are still there waiting for us just over this hill. That guy looks dead. Yep, his auto-loader caused his gun there to go up in the air. Move back to a close formation. Continue maneuvering, make it harder for these guys to hit us. Gonna have my commander again button up in the hatch. Looks like the enemy's probably there where that smoke's coming from. Possible rounds hitting. So my tanks are getting good effects on that target, which is good. Looks like my 2 track is definitely doing some kills. And with that, we have completed the mission. Unfortunately, we lost our Platoon Leader's tank there, but considering the amount of stuff that we had to face, I'll take it. So, mission complete. We have killed 27 enemies and lost 1 vehicle. Basically looks like I missed 2 shots there. That happens. And looking at basically 25% of our command being attrited, which in 4 tanks you lose 1. Obviously that's 25. So looking at how we maneuvered from the beginning, basically moving forward, moving from movement to maneuver, laying waste to all the enemy forces, basically located in vicinity of Papa 2-0 and Papa 2-4, continuing to move forward, engaging targets, missile teams, dropping indirect fire, doing some reloading in the woods there, killing the enemy's motorized infantry, then killing their tanks. Let's go back, see what the enemy's perspective looks like. So basically that's what the enemy has. Gradually being attrited. Actually not really seeing us until... Yeah, it doesn't look like the enemy was able to identify us up until we basically came through the wood line there. And it's really the first they saw of us, which is pretty good. So yeah, basically attriting them, killing all of their reserve there, destroying their tanks, and what they had remaining looks like some mechanized infantry, which they chose to dismount at this point. Ivan there is basically standing back, looking at those tanks, exploding, and thinking, oh, glad I'm not that guy. So that was the mission. I'll put a link to it in the description, and I hope you enjoyed this playthrough of it. If you've got any comments or anything else you'd like to see, let me know in the comments section. Otherwise, have an excellent day.